I'm Brittany. We're here to talk today about martial arts and competition. These are my assistants.
I'm Logan with the red glove.
I can't hear you. This is Logan, and this is Master Chuck. Okay, they're going to help me demonstrate a little bit. First, I want to talk about a quote from Priest and Young in their book, Martial Arts and Philosophy, Beating in Nothingness. They said the opportunity is there nonetheless for the martial arts to provide a unique context for becoming fully human. This means that in the right setting, martial arts can help a person to flourish. This leads me to my point for this whole thing, and participation in organized competition should be limited in martial arts practices to preserve the quality of the martial arts. First off, development of the arts has shown the impact of sporting practices have had on the arts that have become prominently involved in them. Second, many of the psychological benefits of martial arts come from the philosophical teachings. And finally, the future quality of the arts may be diminished if the focus in teaching does not shift back to a more customary style. Further examination of these points will illustrate the necessity for change in the current trends. Many martial arts have transitioned from arts of warfare into sports. Judo became a permanent Olympic sport in 1972, Taekwondo in 2000. Making this happen resulted in enormous changes in pedagogy, practice, and in some cases rituals of both Judo and Taekwondo. And this is a quote from Martial Arts of the World, an Encyclopedia of History and Innovation written in 2010. This transition has removed many of the practical teachings in those arts. Taekwondo was originally developed as combative style and was used to train Korean military personnel. However, when Taekwondo was introduced as an Olympic sport, many techniques were removed from competitive Taekwondo. Judo was taught as a martial practice in the U.S. as a brutal and effective art to train young American boys to be strong and resilient during World War II. This art was toned down to accommodate the Olympic rules. Judo's prominent competition base means that students are being taught this watered-down version almost exclusively. Wrestling is another example. It was developed from Greek pankration. The rules vary from style to style, but a major aspect of its history, striking, has been lost in time. The brutality of the art led to the need to remove the more dangerous techniques in order to maintain good faith among those who were competing. Many changes have been made to modern martial systems out of necessity, but some of those changes have not had positive effects. The practitioners of some arts find it increasingly more difficult to combat an opponent who does not conform to the rules or styles to which they've become accustomed, such as these two. In organized competition, size and gender, along with experience, determine the opponents that a competitor will face. Therefore, the competitor need only prepare for someone with similar strength and ability. This is not working out so well for Logan. Eliminating frivolous training from their regular regimen in order to focus solely on competition. The martial artist no longer needs to prepare for any possibility, but must keep specific rules in mind when training. This practice can be detrimental even in the competitive forum, because on occasion, artists from varying styles will compete outside of their normal venue and bring something new to the ring, catching their opponent off guard. Mixed martial arts has revealed the holes in many sporting arts. In order to be effective fighters, most MMA competitors study multiple arts just to cover the basic dimensions of cage fighting. And not only are techniques being affected by competition, but competition may take away from some of the positive psychological impacts as well. The martial arts have benefits based on philosophical teachings. Many Western sports tend to emphasize competition and winning, while Asian martial arts traditionally emphasize self-knowledge, self-improvement, and self-control. This is from an article called Psychological Benefits of Martial Arts, Myth or Reality by Dr. Binder, PhD, written in 1999. Martial arts advocates peace through combat. A martial artist pursues an inner quiet that cannot exist in turmoil or conflict. Martial arts practice builds confidence, and with confidence comes the ability to make positive choices and be an example or leader to others. Martial arts promotes lifelong pursuits of self-improvement. As an artist strives to improve from one day to the next, he is not daunted by setbacks, but maintains priority. toward being better than the day previous. This mindset is applied to his physical and mental training. Many benefits can be achieved from studying martial arts, but the prospects for the future could mean losing those benefits. The future quality of martial arts is in question. In a quote from Marlon Sims in his article, The Future of Martial Arts, written in 2012, it says the question needs to be asked, who will educate and how prepared will the next generation of martial arts teachers and masters be if the current generation of martial arts educators are not equipped with the correct information and knowledge to pass along? As history has shown, an art can lose valuable traditions when they are not in practice. The concepts handed down from generation to generation are being lost to the desire to win. Today's students are tomorrow's teachers. With a few exceptions as rare as Einstein's in the 20th century, a person cannot teach what he himself was never taught. As wrestlers are no longer taught easier and effective ways of accomplishing the same goals, they will be unable to teach these concepts to future generations. This notion applies to any art. As language dies, so do martial arts. Once the art no longer evolves and grows, it stagnates, and its use and practicality fade. As an art loses more and more of itself, it moves backwards and evolving over time. In the generations to come, there may be nothing left to teach if the trend does not shift back to a more traditional style of instruction. Education that advocates change and improvisation leads to evolution and keeps the art thriving. Limiting the focus on competition in martial arts will have positive effects, such as preserving the quality of the arts and providing a unique context for becoming fully human. Development of the arts, psychological benefits, and future prospects show that the current and future students will benefit from less sports-based martial arts systems. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed our little show here. Thanks again for listening. Good night.